for me, I couldn't go without a bra inside my costume.
Because then your breasts would spill out of the costume.
Yeah, or they'd sag down, so they'd come to my stomach, so you'd think I have like 4 stomachs.
And let's say, for example, we are doing drama games or sports. No matter how good you are, nobody will pick you.
For me, I had 7.3 kilos off my chest. Even if, I swear, my dear, that skirt would be from here to the back. It's okay.
Hello, I am Tamima and welcome to the Round Table. Now, today on the show, we want to spotlight a very important issue: breast care, breast health, but most importantly, bring your attention to a condition that a lot of women actually do suffer from, gigantomastia. So my guest will be sharing with us how they have lived with this condition, and for some, how they found reprieve. Welcome to the show. So my first guest is Valentine Wamboi Mathai. Valentine, welcome to the Round Table.
Thank you.
I also have with me Esther Mushoki, who is 27 years old, and I also have with me Njeri Wangaka.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are here to talk about breasts. And we're talking about breasts today from a point of just educating you about what do you need to know about breast health, breast care, and of course this condition that seemingly a lot of women do suffer from but is not often talked about. So probably let's talk about what is gigantomastia, because that's a huge word.
Yeah, so gigantomastia, it's a medical condition whereby it's abnormal growth of your hormones in female ladies. It can also happen in men. So your breasts grow at a larger extent than they normally would be. So most people may not really know much about it because it thinks it's a normal thing. But yeah, so when most people see they have larger breasts than someone else, you may think it's just, maybe that's how I am, that's how I'm being. But it's a real condition that happens, and it's not only here, it's all over the world. So, yeah.
And just to re-emphasize what Valentine has told us, this is a condition that not only affects women, but it also affects men. So probably each of you, because we know for a lot of girls, it's usually, and boys, it's usually during puberty that you start going through the physical changes. So probably for you, at what point did you now realize, okay, I'm in puberty, my breasts are growing, but there's probably something that's really not quite right?
It happened through class 6 to 8 because, class 6, that's when you start knowing, for me, that's when I started knowing, physical changes in my body, things are happening.
So you're around 12 years old?
Yes. But by the time I got to class 8, my breasts had grown to an extent that in class 8, I started wearing bras. But others are wearing, the normal boob tops. Yeah. And some haven't even grown yet. So for me, it was a normal thing. I was like, maybe that's how I am. Maybe that's how my hormones are growing. Maybe at a faster rate than someone else. And so I started wearing normal bra size. My mom used to buy me the bras. So to some, that they found it a bit weird. And they asked me, why are you wearing bras? And I'm like, I can't wear normal boob tops or maybe sports bras because this is what holds my boobs, sorry. So at that time, I got used to it. But every time I wear a bra, they grow, so I have to change a bigger size to hold. So it went on in high school. I started wearing even bigger ones because it got to a point that when you wear swimming costumes, for me, I couldn't go without a bra inside my costume.
Because then your breasts would spill out of the costume.
Yeah, or they'd sag down, so they'd come to my stomach, so you'd think I have like 4 stomachs. But in real sense, those are my boobs. So I'd wear a bra, and someone asked me, why are you wearing a bra? And I'm like, I feel comfortable this way. I couldn't tell them I have big boobs. They can't fit within the costume. I used to wear baggy clothes. Like, I wouldn't wear this. I'd wear big T-shirts, baggy trousers, baggy sweaters,
So you became like a tomboy.
Exactly.
Because you were hiding something.
Yes.
Around this area.
Yes. So people took it like, that's Val's character. So it's like, yeah, this is me. I'm a tomboy now because this is something I feel comfortable doing, not because this is how I want to be, but because it hides my chest. And I used to slouch. So when I couldn't sit up like this. I'd slouch.
Because you are hiding the breasts.
And it affects your back because now if you continue slouching, your back takes that form. So you look like you're an old grandma or something. So you keep sitting like this in class, or when you walk, you're slouching. and people took it like, that's how she walks, that's how she is, that's how we've known her. But in real sense, that I feel comfortable walking like that because I don't want people to see I have large boobs and start asking me questions that I can't explain.
Did people ever make you feel uncomfortable? Like, did your peers make fun of you?
Yeah, they did, because when it's personal when I come and ask you why your boobs this big, or why you wearing 2 bras, or because I used to wear 2 bras. It got to a point like you can't wear one because they can't support, so you wear 2 bras, and then you wear big shirts and you're good to go. So in the dormitories, someone would come and ask me, why are you wearing 2 bras? I'm like, that's how I can support my chest, because if I leave one bra, it's painful, and at the same time it won't hold, so they'll spill out. At some point it's depressing. You go through some depression because you feel you're not woman enough, or you're not a full girl, because you keep asking, how comes I have to go through this, and my dorm mates or my classmates are fine, even if someone is bigger than me, but she has boobs at her, or breasts at her for her frame, but mine are big that I can't do normal activities
And
well.
looking at you even now, I can tell that surely your frame must have been also quite small.
Actually, I added weight.
You added weight.
A lot of it, because for me, going through depression, I got comfort in eating food. So the more I ate, the more I grew. The more I grew, it kind of hides that you have big boobs. And
You never felt you could talk to anyone about it?
No, at
even
that time.
Your mom?
No.
Did you have older sisters, perhaps?
No, I'm the eldest.
You're the eldest.
Yes.
So it was just mom.
Yeah, by that time, I'm in high school in Nairobi. Mom is in Mombasa. So communication was hard because I was in boarding school. Yeah, and she had my siblings to also take care of, and she had work. So I didn't feel like it was something I needed to burden her with then. I felt like, you know what, I'll deal with this on my own. The way I felt like I could do it. So when I went to uni, I started changing my bra size. So I started changing, I went from Ds to double Ds. According to the tag that's usually on the bra. So I started going to any vendor that sells bras big enough to support me, because you can't wear a normal bra when you have big boobs. That was just a no-go zone for me.
We're talking about breast health, and yes, we are spotlighting the fact that this is a condition that people actually do suffer from, but at the same time, there is a lesson in that. There are so many of us women who are walking around clueless about what our bra sizes are. So later on in the show, we're going to be teaching you about how to tell your correct bra size, because that comes with some specific health benefits to you as a woman. Now, I want to hear from you, Esther. Probably for you, at what point did you now start realizing that there's something odd about the rate at which my breasts are growing?
Okay, for me, it started when I was in class 4. My boobs started growing, and I couldn't realize like it's abnormal or normal.
And class 4 is around 9-10 years.
Yes. So it took me years to understand what is happening, but at that point, socially, no one is understanding you. Your classmates will think like you're just big, you can't even hang around with them.
So big from a point of you're overweight, I'm a big from a point of now your chest is big.
My chest. So I was very tiny, but now my breasts were so big. So it went a point where I had to eat a lot so that I can put my whole body into shape, like I can look all well. So it went that way till high school. So when I was informed to that, when I went to see a doctor, because now my parents thought this is not normal. And when I saw a doctor and tests were done, and that's when I realized mine is hormonal problems. So it was treated for a while, but it kept on changing.
And I want to find out from you, what prompted you to see a doctor? Because see, when you say you saw a doctor, and having heard Valentine's story, like she was good. She was trying to solve it herself.
Yeah.
So for you, what now prompted you now to realize this is not normal, and let me at least seek medical attention?
They started bringing problems in my classes. I couldn't attend normal lessons because now I'm starting to have back pains.
So that weight of the breast.
Yeah, it was so huge. You can't even bend. You can't stay upright in class to even listen to your teachers.
Because your back is uncomfortable.
Yes. So But my matron said, called my mom and told her that your daughter is not going to class, so come and pick her. You go and see what the problem is. So when we went to the hospital, tests were done. That's when the doctor said, your chests are too big because you have a hormonal problem. And it's only going to be solved, your back pains are going to be solved if you take such medications. But I went years...
Medication for the back pain specifically?
For the back pain. And I did medication for so long, nothing changed. No, they went to a point, now we have to give medication to reduce your breast. And
so
still...
when you say medication for the back pain, just to help me understand, that is now just to manage the pain. So
Yeah.
it wasn't really a solution.
No, it wasn't.
So the pain was still there, the
pain
discomfort was still there.
It was still there. Even the chest, the shoulders, like even writing notes on class was a problem because now the numbness of the hand, I couldn't do normal things. So I have to do new bras every single time, which is, it's draining. Yeah.
And what other sort of discomfort did you have to go through?
Apart from back pains, chest pains, even when you try to bend, you can feel the weight. So you even feel pain on your chest and everything. Shoulders, at times even it affects your leg because now when you try to walk, you feel the numbness and you can't even do the normal walk. Yeah.
Because there's definitely an orthopedic connection there.
Yeah.
And let me hear from you, Jerry, because for you, the fact that you are experiencing now this growth with your breast at such an early age, you had accusations thrown your way, you're sexually active. So at what point now did you realize that, okay, now I'm in puberty, my breasts are growing and this is not normal?
At first, I didn't know. I also thought it was normal, but it was not really normal because the girls of my age didn't have the boobs of my size. So when I was joining high school, those girls in Form 4 actually, they would mock me telling me, even I've never seen my mom wearing bras. And for me, even by that time, my mom wouldn't go to a shop and buy a bra for me. You have to get second-hand bras because it's very hard to get a new bra, as in from a shop.
It's expensive.
Yeah,
And
it's
let's be
it's
honest, for a lot of
expensive.
Kenyans,
It is.
your first bra is from Tumba.
True.
And still, you can't get a bra of your size from, because they are excessively big. So, like them, I also used to wear 2 bras at times, a boob top on top.
So wait, boob top ndo iko ndani?
Yeah, you wear a bra.
Bra.
Now
Bra.
when
Bra.
you wear
Top is
a
on.
boob top, because
Yeah,
they're going
support,
to
yeah.
finya.
to make them like flat, look small. But even most girls would tell me, hey, umebarikiwa, but it is not normal. It's not blessings to have big boobs. Then, my mom was, I think I was in class 7. My mom was called to school. She was told, do you know what? We saw your girls talking to the boys through the fence. And that's where she has got her big boobs from.
So it became now this
Yeah.
biological process.
Yeah.
It's being blamed
Yeah.
that you are now a promiscuous girl.
Yeah. Now I told my mom, no, I saw my brother, they were just doing their football practice there, and I was asking, how is home? And now I was going home by the way. Then back in high school, every example that was used during the sexuality and reproduction and growth, because they are there in high school, biology and CRE, I was the best example. Maybe a teacher would come, there are these people with small bodies, and I don't know why those people usually have big voices. So every time a person will even raise a hand in class to answer, why are you talking like that? Can you, if people see me here talking, they'll think it's Jerry talking.
So you were being body shamed even by the adults around
even by
you.
the teachers.
Yeah.
And back in high school, they used to believe maybe she's like that, she has done abortions, she's on contraceptives, and I had not done even such things.
That was just your body.
Yeah, it was my body.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point, there's this lady now, she was my friend, and back in the village, now those people who go to town know a lot of things. I told her, because I usually see people can get creams to do their bumps and their hips, can you get me a cream that I'm going to apply on my boobs so that they can reduce in size? But now the problem was, I didn't get that money. I think it was 5,000 back in River Road. Now I gave up, and I was so down. I said, oh, I'll be like this for the rest of my life. Then there's a time that I saw the story on the papers, and then I knew it was a problem.
So that's when now you discovered that
Yeah.
actually this is a condition.
It's a condition.
Gigantomastia. Okay, right. And that's why we're having this conversation today, just to raise awareness about this condition and especially to empower parents so that you can be keen, take note about what your adolescent children, and especially the girls, are going through. And remember, this is a condition that not only affects the girls, it can also affect the boys. And remember, I love hearing from you. So if you have any questions on these topics, let me know via the hashtag Real Talk with Tamima. But right now, it's time for a very quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the round table. Now remember, get on that hashtag Real Talk with Tamima. Let me know what your views and comments on today's topic are. Now, I want to just pick up where we left off. And Jerry was sharing with us how at a very young age, you were body shamed
Yes.
by teachers, by your peers, and called all manner of names.
Yes. They used to call me KCC, Wamatuzo, others Freshian. And it really used to put me down because I used to wonder what was wrong with my body. And let's say, for example, we are doing drama games or sports. No matter how good you are, nobody will pick you. Because, okay, I used to do drama a lot because the teachers used to see the potential in me. But for sports, I was good. But when we were doing those warm-ups, the teacher mostly used to emphasize on me. Why are you doing that? Are you an old grandma? And it really used to put me down. But you want to play that game, but now you feel, or I just give up on it. And then men, when men see you, the first thing they tell you, okay, those who love big boobs, because there are those out there who love big boobs, they will tell you, wow, you'll make a good pillowcase. Then they are seeing a pillowcase in you. That time you're suffering.
So on one end, the girls are teasing you. It's
Yeah.
about body shaming you.
Yeah.
On the other end, the men are now objectifying you.
Yeah.
Yeah. A man thinks that you have a you can make comfort in him when he lies on that chest.
And did you experience that as well, Valentine?
Yeah, I did, because, when men look at you, or especially when I was in uni, they took it like, wow, unidema kona frame poa, unidema kona boobs big, hizo, ukizipata man say, wow. But you see, deep inside, when you can hear the comments, even when you walk, or you can hear them catcalling you, and you feel so terrible inside because they have no idea on what you're going through. So for them, it's just normal. Different sizes, different boobs. The bigger, the better. And then you can't now start asking people or your fellow girlfriends or something like, no, how come it's been like this? Can you explain? Ama mbona wako hivi, mbona mimi niliumbwa hivi? And then, because even them, they can't even answer you. So, you just go with the flow.
And today, looking at you, Valentine, and you, Jerry, because you've been fortunate enough that finally you have some reprieve.
Yes.
From the pain, the discouragement, the name calling that you had to endure. So at what point now did you both decide that I need a permanent solution to this?
Because, after a while, like she was saying, the back pains and everything, like I couldn't take it. My own mom, so I couldn't take it anymore. Because even my mom was wondering, where are we going to get help? What are we going to do? Because my daughter is suffering and she saw everything.
And this suffering would impact your education,
it
going
impacted
to work,
everything.
social activities.
Everything. I was an antisocial person. So, and there were things I was going through, like my back would ache. There's a time like it's like a muscle pull on your leg, but now on your back. Had they fell down, your bra cuts through your shoulders, you get bruises. And it hurts your back from the side and the lower bridge. So when you're running or you're walking, even sports, like she was saying, you feel pain even on your chest. It's so painful. So the time I sat down, I was watching TV. When I saw a lady talking, and she started talking about all the things she was going through because she had large breasts, and she talked about the condition being gigantomastia, and she was going through all the things that she was going through. When you have a checklist, and you're like, this is what I'm going through. Yes, ndoyo, everything. So everything started coming to place whereby I'm now understanding what is exactly happening to me physically.
So now you had a name for it.
Yes.
And it's a huge name, guys. Say it with me. Gigantomastia.
So I was so intrigued. I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I've been going through. Finally, there's an answer. So I had to wait for, now I need to know who this lady is. So she finally said her name, that my name is Ruth McKenna. And I'm like, somehow, some way, I need to talk to her because I need to find out what this condition is, how comes women go through this, how comes you go through these challenges, and how can I fix it? Yeah.
And today you're only 26 years old.
Yes.
And this is something you've struggled in from the time you're almost 12 years old.
Yes.
So it took almost how many years of your life?
14 years of my
14
life.
years before you finally got that reprieve.
Yes.
And for you as well, Jerry, because you underwent the breast reduction surgery.
Yeah. For me, it has been 12 years. And when I also saw McKenna on TV. And that's when I realized, for real, it's a problem. Because everything she was saying, I also have it. I'm undergoing it. And me, I have kids. Breastfeeding is a problem. And when people see you with big boobs, they also think that, well, she has a lot of milk. But the truth is that you don't have a lot of milk because the bigger part, it's fat. Fat has occupied the space that milk should occupy on your breasts. Even breastfeeding the babies was a problem. You lift them, you put pillows.
So you're feeling the back pain,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
baby is pulling.
Yeah.
And then it's also big. You're careful not to, sort of like
Yes.
smother the baby.
Yeah. And at times when you are pulling that boob, you feel pain because you are really trying how you're going to breastfeed that baby. And like now the moment I knew I had this problem is when I went to the orthopedic. I also went with back pains, but I was told your problem is the weight of your breasts. That's what's causing your back pains.
And so finally, when each of you had your surgery, how much weight was removed from your breasts?
On my right breast, 2.5 kilos, and left 1.8.
So in total, around almost
4.3.
4 kilograms
Yeah,
taken off your
4.3,
chest.
yes.
What about for you?
I had around 3, because I remember saying 3 kgs, because one was around 1 point something, let's say 5, 6. The other one was 0 point something. Okay, I just know total was 3 kgs because I asked how much it was.
Esther, you're yet to receive the surgery.
Yeah.
So are you excited now that there's finally light at the end of this tunnel?
Very excited. I can't even wait. When I heard first of McKenna in groups, social media groups, I was interested because I saw photos. First, I thought maybe it's the cutting weight process that people undergo. But when I read the comments and everything, I saw there's a lady called Ruth McKenna. So I got interested. So I texted her and she told me, just come and talk to me. Then I'll explain more. But I was hesitant at first. But when finally I met her and she explained things and everything she went through, I'm going through. So, and she told me, we'll fix you. Everything is going to be fine. And I couldn't wait.
So do you already know how much mass they'll have to remove
No.
out of your breast? So that now they'll figure out after the
Yeah,
surgery.
exactly.
It's normally 3% of your body weight.
Okay. And of course, we really do wish you well.
Thank you.
And that's why we are talking about this here on this round table. Let's wrap the table, guys, because, I'm going to be very honest here. I think for a lot of people, when you think breasts, you only think breasts, breastfeeding, and you really don't quite understand how something that to you really doesn't make much of a difference can really impact another human being's life. And that's why on the round table, we are always having conversations around these topics just to raise awareness, to empower you, so that when you're out there, usikae kama mtu ambaye hashiki rada. So right now, I want to introduce my next guest. I'm going to be releasing the girls. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Our conversation on today's topic continues. Joining me right now on the round table is Ruth McKenna, who is the founder of the Gigantomastia Foundation. I also have with me Maima Jamila, who is a potential beneficiary from what Ruth does. So probably Ruth, all the women who are on this table, they were just saying, I was watching TV, I saw McKenna. I Googled, I saw McKenna. So what do you do, McKenna?
My name, as you rightfully put it, is Ruth McKenna Muga. I'm the founder of Gigantomastia Foundation, having suffered from gigantomastia unknowingly for a very long time. I was diagnosed with gigantomastia in the year 2011, and my main symptom was a dislocating shoulder.
So, because of what the condition does, the pain you were feeling, for you it got so bad that your shoulder dislocated.
Actually, not the pain, the weight.
The weight of your
of my breast used to make my shoulder dislocate. So in 2010, I went in and saw my orthopedic surgeon, Professor Mulimba, and he had a surgery done on my shoulder to reinforce it. And in the process of him undergoing or fixing my shoulder, he realized that the main reason is that I had an extremely huge bust. So he referred me to a plastic surgeon in Aga Khan by the name of Professor Stanley Hainga, and he recommended that I should get a breast reduction. So it's at that point in December 2010 when I saw Professor is when he told me, actually, he giggled when I walked into his office. So he's like, so you're this chick who's dislocating shoulders because of a very huge bust.
Yeah.
So I was scheduled for surgery on the 19th of February 2011, and I had a total of 7.3 kilos removed off my chest.
Off your chest.
Yes.
Wow. So what was your bra size before the surgery?
Before the surgery, what these girls are saying, what you find is what you wear. And I was wearing a 42 cup GG. So there's a time
That's a 42 cup double G, just to explain
yes,
GG.
yes. So people used to call it great gigantic,
Wow.
GG.
And
a
that's
42
literally
GG.
like, that's the largest, right? Or
Actually,
is there an
it
edge?
goes to the KH, it hits to the K cups.
So what was it like finding a bra? Because I can imagine walking around the shops telling someone that I'm looking for a double G.
Looking for a bra, it was not interesting, because now I remember there's a time I'd visited my brother abroad and we entered Lynn Bryant, and that's like one of the biggest shops that accommodates for plus size women. So this lady, she comes and measures me the tape measure, then she looks at me like, you're like 4 inches off the range. Like, we cannot get a bra size for you unless we customize it for you.
Oh, so basically they don't stock your size.
That's what she was just trying to tell me in a polite, sugar-coated manner. So I was like, it's okay. Anyway, this is me. So,
And I'm sure this doesn't just translate to bras, because when you're buying tops, when you're
your
buying
clothing,
dresses,
exactly.
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
your dress size is a size 12, but because your breasts are
Yeah.
bigger,
You're a 16.
You're a 16 up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my surgery was successfully done. It was a 3 to 4 hour surgery. And I can never forget my reaction when I woke up. So I looked at my chest. I was like, I don't have those melons anymore.
we also have Jamila. So Jamila, right now, you are, of course, you have the condition, and
Yeah.
you are now scheduled to actually undergo the breast reduction surgery.
Yes, dear.
So how did you hear about McKenna?
It was just a dream that came true. That night I was like, I couldn't sleep, and then I was going through my Facebook account, and then I saw, thank you, Ruth McKenna. I was like, Ruth McKenna, let me see. So when I opened the post, I was like, damn, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been thinking it's impossible. And it's right here under my nose. And then that is when I texted her actually. And she responded immediately. I can remember it was around 12, but we did chat until like 3. I asked her a lot of questions because I was like, oh my God, is this real? Is this done in Kenya? Is it possible? I have this condition. And then she was like, relax. Yeah, it is true. It can be done. I've gone through it, and several others have gone through it. And then I was like, oh my God, Alhamdulillah. As you can see, I'm a Muslim, and I want to put something straight here. We live in a society, and out there in this society, there are different type of people. But one thing, never judge anyone. You see, me, with my condition, a lot of things came through. Because at first, we never knew what was wrong, because I have a sister, and she too has the same condition. And us growing up together, we were like, we're fine, we're fine,
So
we're
it
fine.
was normal, because there was
Yeah.
someone you could reference and say, Judadangu anayo, this, it runs in the family.
Exactly. So when I went to high school, Now that was when I rose an eyebrow. I was like, oh, we used to go to these mass bathrooms, but I used to shower alone with those cubes because I was like, when I passed, I'm like, something is wrong with me.
So
Something
now you're
is
looking
wrong.
at yourself in the context of comparing with your peers.
Yeah.
So they're smaller, yours are bigger.
Mine were excessively bigger, and then I was like, oh my god, something must be wrong with me. So when I went back home, I took my sister, we sat down, and then I told her, you know what, me have gone to the high school, and upon showering, I'm seeing this and this and this, so I think we have a problem. And then she was like, no, it's normal, it's not a problem, we don't have any pain or no or what. So we just relaxed, you see.
So, and it's interesting because you're saying you were not experiencing pain.
Yeah, at first I wasn't, because I didn't know. Maybe I was too naive. Maybe I was an introvert then compared as to now. Because actually what started making me realize that something was wrong was the comments that I got. Because as I can remember very well, during the Saturdays, as a general cleaning time, after the general cleaning time, the ladies who used to, it was a mixed school, so the ladies who used to go somewhere and then bask. So the first time that I went to the spot, the basking point, we were okay. So we were like, you're beautiful than me, you're much bigger than me. You see, we used to make those funny comments. And then, so when I went back for the next weekend, everybody was not talking to me. And I was wondering what could be wrong. So I had a friend there that was a bit closer, and then I asked her, what's wrong? And then she told me, you see, after you went, we all discussed about our cups, and then we realized, you're a mama, you ain't a girl like
So
us.
now that's other girls who are body shaming you.
Yeah.
Saying that because you're big, your boobs were bigger,
Yeah.
that now wewe ni mama.
Mi ni mama, nimenyonyesha tu sana. It's like, yani, nishazaa, nime-abort, and all that stuff. But
So, and all
actually-
these are stereotypes, and it's unfortunate because if you have a young daughter and she has this condition and you've not had a chance to talk about it with her, this is what is coming her way, and this can be a huge dent to self-confidence, especially for a young girl who's very impressionable. So I want to find out from you now, McKenna, in the context of, because for a lot of these women, for you, you are the hope that finally saw them say, you know what, there's light at the end of the tunnel. So why is the breast reduction surgery important?
Okay, for a fact, the breast reduction surgery is important because you've heard it from them, like self-esteem. You can hear she says, we discussed you and we've concluded when ni mama. What does that do?
Ama, you're promiscuous.
Yes.
That's why your boobs are big. Which other one have we had?
And
Abortions.
abortions.
Contraceptives.
You're talking to boys over the fence instead of going to class. You're
You know
talking,
what?
you're planning.
On this show, we wrap the round table, and I want us all to just wrap this through because we're talking to you, Akina Mama. And it starts with us, especially.
Yes.
If we know better, you do better.
Yes.
But come on, Mama, and you've ever said any of the things you've dropped on this table, please stop. Look after these young girls. Be your sister's keeper. Understand, it is not a choice. She did not choose. It happened to her, and she's dealing with it as best as she can.
Yes. In the rural areas, once you start maturing, you have these breasts. What's the next thing that comes to your parents? You're old enough to get married. That's already another stereotype. Gigantomastia also spirals down to domestic violence in the house. Because of this big breast, even the chores is hard. So you can find your spouse is like, you're so lazy, you're sitting here, there's nothing you can do. What does that happen?
And I want to hear from my viewers. If
Yes.
this is something that you're dealing with in your condition, having had what has been shared on this round table, please reach out to me via the hashtag Real Talk with Tamima and let me know what your views and comments are. But right now, it's time for us to take a very quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the round table. Now, our conversation on today's topic continues. So we met McKenna, and McKenna is doing an amazing job on the ground. And right now, I want to introduce my next guest, who is Constance Tipi. She's the founder of Double D's Lingerie. And so this is a question that I want to put out to you, Do you know your bra size? Are you wearing the right bra? So later on in the show, we are going to come back to that just to find out how and why it's important to actually wear the correct bra size. But right now, I just want to go back to the foundation and the work that you're doing because it's very important. You're helping a lot of women. So probably when we're talking about breast reduction, how much does it cost?
I'll speak for myself. When my surgery was done in 2011, and first things first, insurance declined to pay for my surgery because they said I'm going in for cosmetic surgery.
So it's considered cosmetic
surgery, yes.
Yet this is actually something
It
that
is a condition.
Wow.
Yes. Others even they go and tell you, it's a pre-existing condition.
And that is the same to date.
And that is the same
In
to date.
2019.
In 2019. So people who are fortunate enough to have big international companies like the Aetnas, the Cignas, they are paid for. But my biggest aim to have started this foundation is the fact that there's a lot of awareness that needed to be done and still needs to be done. We have really capitalized on stigma types, right? So within awareness, you get to learn that this is a condition. It's not something that you should call me Wamanyonyo or Frisian. It is something that needs to be corrected. That is the first thing that came to my mind. And with time, I'm happy. So many people have come on board to get this surgery done. It might not be through me, but at least you know it can be done.
So using your voice,
Yes.
now you're able to you're helping them put a name to it. Can we say it out loud, girls? It is gigantomastia.
Gigantomastia. And on that note also, it is done locally, you see. You don't have to go to India, you don't have to go to the States. You know, there's this mentality, our doctors don't know anything. Mine was done 8 years ago by a Kenyan doctor.
And to date, you're still very happy.
And I'm still
stress-free.
And I'm okay. I can even walk without a bra. So
TMI?
yes. Yes. Yes, so it can be done locally. And there's this question women like asking, what happens when you get a breast reduction done? They remove the excess skin, the excess breast tissues, and it comes with an automatic lift.
So basically, your breast will still look pretty.
Pretty,
It won't
even
be scarred or saggy.
So now I want to tell you something. Somebody who's thinking about scars is not unwell. For me, I had 7.3 kilos off my chest. Even if I swear, my dear, that scar would be from here to the back. It's okay. But the scarring is manageable. It's just below the breast. And another thing I'd also want to encourage is do not go talk to somebody who's not had that surgery done. They would discourage you because, why are you altering what God has done? But my question is, why has God made those doctors know that this is a condition and He's given them that skill to correct this condition? That's one thing. Number two, stop shunning people who have this condition. Like the way you said, be your sister's keeper. You see, like the way she was called a kamama. I also came to learn after I started my foundation, somebody actually opened up to me who was in my high school. They used to backbite me at her big boobs. And me, I was like, I used to laugh because I was very bubbly and I was like, I have boobs. Then you should also be having boobs. But we have very different ways of taking in and shock absorbers. We have very different shock absorbers.
So if you're watching this show right now, instead of making fun of the next girl, actually tell them about your foundation. So how can someone reach out to you?
I have an Instagram page. I have a Facebook page called Gigantomastia Foundation. And I have a phone number which is 0786 406036.
And that's how committed you are. You're giving out your number.
Yes,
Pap,
it is there.
call me. And then from there, you pick it up.
6036. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe just to clarify, at what age is it recommended for someone to get the surgery? Is there like a limit? Is there an age where a girl could be too young and she's told you have to wait? Or
unfortunately, I cannot say there's a limit for me from my experience. Because the youngest we've done is a 12-year-old, and she's the highest mark we've done, 9.5 kilos off her chest.
Wow, for a 12-year-old.
For a 12-year-old. So you can imagine she has 9.5 kilos. What are you trying to tell this kid to wait for?
And I think this now goes back to your point. It's not cosmetic.
Exactly. It's
this is actually a medical
condition.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's called gigantomastia. Big words, guys,
Yes.
but a very important point to learn. Now, as I promised you, I hit the streets of Nairobi just to find out, do women really know their bra size? Take a look.
Actually, I can't really tell my bra size. What I usually do is that just go to to a boutique or something. I just measure it like that when I'll find my actual bra size. But I never really measured my bra size.
Mi size yangu ni 42.
42,
Size 42. Na ninanunuanga bra zangu huko pale ya nini hapo Deacons.
For me, I don't know my bra size. But when I go to buy my bra, I just fit in to see if it fits.
What's my bra size? I really don't know. I have never really taken time to check on that. But si uenda tu ukienda mtush venye tuenda unapima unachukua unavaa uangalia size yako. That's basically how we know our size. Okay, I know my size. And I purchase at zingine mi purchase kwa duka, beauty shops. I mean boutiques, not beauty shops, boutiques. And others mtush, yeah.
When buying bra in a market, most people come and catch them. It's hard to trust the hands of other people. That's why I usually prefer to go and buy packed ones.
Unajua ukijua sasa size yako hakuna haja ya kushida ukienda sababu hujakoda hujanona hizo tu sasa size yangu tu ni hiyo 42.
I get my bras from Kawangware and I think they are nice from Tumba.
Mimi naenda tu soko natafuta any. Unaanza kupima unaona ina fit basi hivyo unachukua hiyo. Kumesha the last time I measured sijawahi. Kumesha ndo hiyo ya soko sasa unaenda unapima. Kama iko sawa ni sawa.
Bra zangu Kikomba, juu napenda mtush, juu za duka zuraruka. Za mtush zukawia. Sasa pia mimi sijui bra size yangu ni upima, ni ukula kwa macho.
At times unanunua time unatafuta you want to buy one. Kuna nyele umependa but during the time ya kuzichagua una get to know that these things zingine ziko chafu. That's when you know that some of these things are used. But really, most of the times I buy them at the shop.
Welcome back to the round table. So today we're doing things a bit differently. As you can see, we are all standing up around the round table. And as promised, I want to teach you guys how to find out the correct bra size. And probably, Constance, why is it important? Before you even get to the practical.
See, jumping in.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Why is it important for women to understand that wearing the correct bra size is good for your health?
Just as the ladies who've spoken before have just talked about all the struggles that they have. So when you think about all the garments that you wear, right? A dress, a headscarf, shoes, everything. Nothing on your body is designed to lift any weight or to support any weight. But a bra is. So a bra in, let's say, size A cup is probably designed enough to support, let's say, 1 kilo underneath 1 kilo.
So the weight of the A cup
is supported by the bra.
Yeah.
So the bra is the only undergarment made with the intention to support the weight. So if you've supported your weight properly, chances are your shoulders will not ache, your back will not ache, and you'll automatically have a great posture. That's why you need to wear the right bra size.
So this thing that women do as shortcuts, you buy the wrong bra, you're busy adjusting the straps.
Bas. And it's very simple to know whether you're wearing the wrong bra size. If you're at home and you're sitting and you're asking yourself, am I in the right bra size? 3 things: the strap test, the cup test, and the band test. So with the cup test, if the cup is a bit too big, and as my girl at the store says, you can fit a cell phone inside, that cup is big. If at any one point people are looking at you dressed, but they see mounds, 4 quadruple boobs, 6 boobs, under boobs, the cup is too small. It's as simple as that.
So when you're spilling
out of your cup from wherever, from the side, from the center, from underneath, that cup is too small.
That is the cup test.
That's a cup test. So with the band test, it needs to sit parallel on the back, and if I pull your strap, right, when it's closed on the outermost hook, when it's a new bra, when it gets older, you move to the innermost hooks, right? If I pull the strap of the bra, the band, I shouldn't be able to fling a fair, fair.
Tightness.
No.
It shouldn't be tight.
No. So just the rule is 2 fingers. It shouldn't cut across. It looks like now you are a croissant because of how many folds it's created.
And then also inakufinya.
Yeah. So it needs to just sit properly, parallel to the back, slide in 2 fingers to know that it's not too tight. If you can fit a fist inside, the band is too tight.
And another thing that you'll tell the band is really big, it rides up.
Yes.
You know those ladies you can mug from the back. You're like, yo, come here. Because of the bra, that's a big band. You need to probably go a couple of band sizes down. And the last thing is the straps. So anytime you see a lady
Constantly, yeah. I've been that lady a couple of times.
Yeah, there's one who brutas, and then that you need to refit the bra. And the other lady uses the clasp. You know that clasp that goes at the back of your bra? She's pulled it, it's not the front over
So
here.
it's now
she's now
overlifting.
she's using the straps of her bra to lift the bust of her, like to
The
support
weight of
the
her
weight of her
bust.
bust. And the thing is, the support of the bra comes from the band and the cup of your bra. The strap just gives you additional support. That's why I keep saying, if you can master those three things, then you know, and you can tell your friends. And let me tell you, once you know your bra size, everywhere I walk, I just see bad boobs. Like,
And you know,
wrong size.
I
wrong
can
size,
say
wrong size.
this as a woman. I've been that woman. If you're someone who listening to this, you're like, I didn't know that. I've been that woman at some point in my life. And when I knew how to correctly measure my bra size, I kid you not, oh my God, the relief. So we're going to teach you right now, very practically, how it's done. All you need is a tape measure.
And a
Kama
friend.
huna, enda kwa fundi, pale kwa estate. So, and a friend.
And a friend
Or even
and a-
yourself. You could do it yourself,
Yeah, you
right?
could do it yourself, but chances are you'll get the wrong measurements if
Okay.
you do it yourself.
Or
so
and
get
a
a friend.
friend.
Yes. And then tape measure, piece of pen, and a paper. Right?
Okay.
Piece of paper and a pen.
Okay, just to write it down.
So you only need two measurements. You need the rib cage measurement, which will give you the band size, which is something I need to say that the bra size has two components, the number and the cup. So a letter. So when you ask somebody what's your bra size, they need to give you a number and they need to give you a letter. So like 34B. Not just when you say gani, then you say 34. 34 what cows? No. Shillings? So we'll get the rib cage measurement. So at this point when you're wrapping...
Do I have to stretch my
Yeah,
arms
it's fine,
out?
it's fine. Yeah. When you get the tape measure, wrap it tightly against the rib cage. And the rib cage is not the waist, it's just underneath where your bust. So call it the under bust measurement. And in her case,
chini ama titi?
chini, yes, chini boobs. And then we'll get that as a 31.
So who's
In her
writing? Who's
case-
taking notes for us? Friends?
Okay.
31?
Somebody needs to cram, right? The
Okay,
first
31.
measurement was 31, right?
Right.
And then the measurement from the fullest part of her bust. In this case, wrap the tape measure parallel to the ground the same way, but loosely around the fullest part of her bust.
And just
right?
to clarify, is the fullest part of your bust, your breast, where the nipple is? Is that how you tell?
Well, you'll also just see where the fullest part of your bust is. You see, when you look at yourself, that's the level. It'll never
So
be
where
up,
it's
it'll never be down.
fullest.
Yeah, because we cannot say where the nipples are because everybody's boobs are shaped differently.
Meskia?
Yeah, so your nipple can be facing east, another one west, another people can be facing straight. So, but they're all beautiful. We love boobs. Yeah, so you just where you feel the fullest part of your bust, and make sure you're wearing a non-padded bra that kind of fits you well, because sometimes you're probably in the wrong size and you're trying to figure out what your right size is.
So we have my two measurements.
measurements.
This is 32.
That was 32.
And up
This,
here,
is, this was 31.
31, yeah, 31, and the top part was, you were to cram that?
I forgot.
see my friends, guys. See my friends.
It was 38. We got the 38
38,
measurement,
okay.
right? So then now we need to subtract. Now, in her case, she's not busty. So in that case, we'll use what you call the universal +4 method. So what that means is when you get the under bust measurement, you will add 4 inches if it's an even number, or add 5 inches if it's an odd number, because bra band sizes come in even numbers. So 30, 32, 34, 36. Like in your case, we got 31. There's
you had to
nothing like
add
that.
5.
So we have to add 5 to make it an 36, right? And then the top measurement we got on her case was 38. So 38 minus 36, we get 2 inches. Now, each cup size, the letters that you see in the bra, a difference of one inch is cup A.
Okay.
If it's 2 inches, cup B. If it's 3 inches, cup C, and so forth.
So then that makes me a 36B.
36B.
Correct.
Yes, 36B. Yeah, good. Hey, high five. And that's because she's tiny and she doesn't have a big bust. Then that's the only time you use the
If
universal
anybody's
+4
thinking
method.
of buying me a present, my birthday is coming up now, you know.
34B, yes.
Okay, so I really hope that you learned something from that. And as well, please guys, go on YouTube. Use YouTube as a resource center, because it's very, very important. You know, you might not necessarily have the condition that we're talking about today, but most women, all women I believe, it pays if you just take good care of yourself, avoid those uncomfortable situations, kufanya hivi, and there you've seen it. And probably just as you wind up very quickly, McKenna, because we focused a lot on the women, but in the beginning, I clarified that the condition also affects men as well.
Yes, in men, it's known as gigantomastia, and we've done like 4 men. We've assisted 4 men. And you can imagine a man with boobs. People call them moobs. It's very uncomfortable for a gentleman. Yes.
So,
but it can be done. It can be corrected.
So men as well, please feel free to reach out to this organization. There is a solution. There is no problem too big to resolve. All you have to do is just equip yourself with the right information, look for the right people. I really hope that we inspired you and taught you a lot through this episode and just bringing awareness to this particular condition and talking to the teachers, talking to the mothers. Please be a little bit more sensitive. We live in a totally different world. So don't crush that little girl's, that little boy's confidence because of lack of information and just not understanding that this is not a stereotype, mtoto si mbaya. It's actually a disease and it's a condition. Well, that's it from me, Tamima. Until next time, thank you so much for keeping it here on the round table, girl.
Special thanks to E+ for medic and ambulance services.